Ever feel like there's this secret club when it comes to money? Like everyone else got the same memo, and you're left trying to crack the code.
Yeah.
Well, today we are cracking open one of the most popular and debated playbooks in the game. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Get ready to look at your finances in a whole new light.
It's kind of wild how a book published over 25 years ago is still making waves.
Totally.
Kiyosaki really hit on something timeless, though, like that deep down feeling you get that there's more to money than what we learn in school.
Right. Like he took those quiet conversations you overhear at family parties, about investing and assets and taxes,
hmm
and just threw the doors open for everyone to listen in.
And he makes it personal, right? This isn't some boring finance textbook.
hmm
He throws you right into his childhood,
Yeah.
learning from two father figures, his own dad and his best friend's dad.
Yeah.
Same generation, but total opposites when it came to money.
It's like the social experiment with the two dads thing. One dad, classic picture of success, PhD, stable government job,
Right.
but always struggling financially. Then you have rich dad, dropped out of high school, builds a business empire,
Exactly.
makes you rethink everything.
That's exactly his point. He isn't saying one path is right or wrong, but showing the limits of what he calls the rat race, the constant working for money, paying bills, and doing it all again.
It's like we're all stuck on a hamster wheel following the same path without asking if there's another way to get to the destination or if that destination even makes sense for us.
And a major aha moment is how he defines assets and liabilities. Most people think their house is their biggest asset, right?
Right.
Kiyosaki flips that.
Okay, now this is where it gets juicy because I've seen this debated forever.
Sure.
So break it down. Is a house an asset or a liability?
It comes down to cash flow. An asset brings money IN to your pocket. A liability takes it OUT.
Okay.
So that house, if you're always paying the mortgage, property taxes, endless repairs, is it really making you richer?
That's the thing. It isn't about saying homeownership is bad, but challenging what we're told to believe. And honestly, with today's insane housing market, this idea is more relevant than ever. It's almost scary how many people are feeling that cash flow squeeze.
Exactly. He wants you to really think about your finances.
Hmm.
He wants you building an asset column, things like rental properties, stocks, or businesses.
Yeah.
Anything that makes money, even when you're off doing your thing. Remember that comic book library he started as a kid? Genius.
We have to talk about that comic book library. It's like a masterclass in entrepreneurship disguised as a story.
Right.
They saw what was needed, kids wanting more comic books, and made a solution that put money in their pockets.
Such a simple but powerful example of the rich invent money.
Yeah.
It's a big idea in the book. He's saying wealth isn't about getting a paycheck. It's about making opportunities, seeing what others miss.
Okay, I'm already inspired. But I'm guessing it's not always easy. How does Kiyosaki deal with the setbacks and doubts?
He doesn't pretend it's all sunshine and rainbows. Kiyosaki thinks fear is a huge thing holding people back,
Yeah.
especially with money. He even uses the Alamo as an example, not because they won, but for what it represents. Being brave when things are really tough.
Wow, never thought of the Alamo that way. But I see how that thinking applies to investing. Being afraid to lose money can be crippling for people.
He isn't saying take crazy risks, but you've got to be okay with failing sometimes. It's about learning from those failures, getting back up and coming back stronger, which ties into his big thing about always learning.
Right, it's not just the money you make, but what you learn about money along the way. It's like that saying, invest in your education, it pays the best interest. But Kiyosaki takes it a step further.
Yeah.
He's not just talking about regular school, but going out and finding the knowledge that actually makes you smarter about money.
Totally. He's all about mentors, seminars,
Right.
even just reading tons of books about finance and business. It's like learning the language of money so you aren't relying on someone else to translate.
And speaking of challenging the usual advice, his thoughts on taxes always get people talking.
Oh, yeah.
It's like he's pulling back the curtain on the system most people don't really get.
It's so interesting how he gets into the history of taxes, like how the idea of tax the rich got started,
Right.
and how it actually works out in the real world. He says the middle class ends up paying more than they realize.
It really opens your eyes because he explains how wealthy people use corporations to legally pay less in taxes. And he isn't saying to break the law, but to understand the rules of the game so you can play smart.
Yeah. It's like he's saying don't just blindly hand over your money. Learn to protect it, grow it, use it to make the life you want. He wants people to see corporations as tools,
Right.
not just big, scary companies, but tools anyone can use.
It goes back to minding your own business. You're not depending on a job or the government for money. You're making your own opportunities. And one of the simplest but overlooked ideas is pay yourself first. Sounds easy,
Hmm.
but it's a total change in how you think.
It's putting your financial future first, even before the things you need or want right now. He tells stories about how he paid himself first,
Yeah.
even when things were tight. Takes discipline, but it shows your financial well-being is important.
Like putting your oxygen mask on first, right?
Exactly.
Can't help others if you're gasping for air. And talking about support, Kiyosaki really believes in finding good mentors and advisors.
He says surround yourself with people who are smarter than you in certain things.
Yeah.
Build a team to help you navigate investing, real estate, whatever you're into.
He even says to look for brokers who are investors themselves, people who really get it and can give real-world advice.
Yeah.
And it's not just money stuff. He talks about learning sales and marketing, too.
He says those skills are important for anything, even if you don't think you're a salesperson. Being able to communicate, get people on board, build relationships, super valuable.
It's like they say everything's sales.
Right.
And Kiyosaki takes it further with his idea of being an Indian giver. Not in a bad way, but like giving back. He thinks being generous actually brings more abundance.
And not just money. It's your knowledge, your time,
Yeah.
sharing with others. What you give comes back around.
And to bring it back to the beginning, he talks about finding your heroes, people who inspire you and make success feel real. Not just money success, but success in life on your own terms.
He talks about how he used to love baseball players as a kid, but now he finds inspiration in financial giants like Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
It's about having positive examples around you.
Yeah.
People who show that financial freedom is possible. And it's not just the money, but the freedom and choices it gives you.
It's like he's saying, don't just dream about a different life, go make it. And to show that, he uses this great comparison about building wealth and building a pipeline. It's not just digging for gold, it's making a system that just brings it to you.
Right. He tells this story about two guys carrying water. One is killing himself lugging buckets. The other takes his time and builds a pipeline.
I love that.
That's passive income. Totally changes the game.
Okay, that image is stuck with me now. And it really sums up his whole thing. Smarter, not harder, right? But he doesn't just tell you these ideas. He actually gives you things to do, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad isn't just some philosophy. It's a call to action. He wants you to really look at what you believe about money.
Yeah.
Face those beliefs that hold you back, and then start building your own pipeline.
I love how he's all about finding your own way, too. Not just following someone else's formula, but what works for you.
Yeah.
Based on what you want and how much risk you can handle.
Exactly. Experiment, take chances, but calculated ones, and learn when you mess up. Even Rich Dad didn't get it right all the time.
That's actually really encouraging because it makes financial freedom less scary, you know? It's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent.
And he ends the book with this powerful question, right? What do you want to be when you grow up?
Ooh, I like that.
And it's not about some job title, but making a life that fits what you care about.
It's like that question unlocks something. It's not really about the money, but what it lets you do, you know? Who you can be because of it.
And you finish the book feeling hopeful.
Yeah.
That financial freedom, it is possible.
Yeah.
But you have to choose it, decide to change how you think and what you do.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Rich Dad, Poor Dad, what's the one big thing you hope listeners take away from this?
I think just realizing we all have the power to change our situation with money. It's not where you start.
Right.
It's the choices you make now that shape your future.
It's about taking back control, learning about money, and building a life of abundance, whatever that means for you. So for everyone listening, what's one tiny step, just one, you can take today to start building your pipeline? Start writing your own money story. Think about that, and we'll catch you in the next deep dive.